Broadcasting live from, we're going to guess, secret tunnel on the plane of, well, Earth, but the one where Avatar takes place. This is TapTapConcede. Welcome, everybody, to TapTapConcede. My name is Graham, and joining me is Ben.
I am not Ben. I am Melon Lord.
And Cameron.
Huh?
and today, we're going to be looking at not the set that is currently happening, nor the next one. But the future. We're going to look at some early Avatar spoilers because, well, they did their first look event, and so there's Avatar to talk about. So why not? This show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR for all of your cardboard needs. You could probably pre-order some of this. Why not? Or you can sell them cards that you have now that you don't need so that you can buy the other different things. You can turn cards. You can also turn cards into cash, but you get a better deal if you turn it into store credit. Also, tell them we sent you. They'll give you a button, which we've been getting differing feedback on what button is currently the one in rotation. So I think they might just be putting them all into a bucket.
I like that.
I kind of hope that's what
the
they
bucket
do.
o' buttons.
Who knows what kind of funny button you'll get.
Yeah.
And of course, this show and everything we do is brought to you, of course, by you and your kind support of our Patreon or becoming a member on this YouTube channel. And I did actually forget to mention Dragon Shield. Use the code LRRMTG5 to get a 5% discount off anything you buy on Dragon Shield. So it's Edge of Eternities right now.
Yeah.
And then Comic-Con happened and they showed off a whole bunch of Spider-Man. And we talked about Spider-Man.
There was a lot of Spider-Man.
There's a lot of Spider-Mans. And then they did a first look stream for Avatar, and it's there's a lot happening. There's like 50 cards that we already know about.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
They spoiled a bunch of the stuff from the set, and then they also spoiled that Jumpstart is returning with it too a little bit.
But just an Avatar Jumpstart?
Yeah, or at least like intro kind of like smash it together kind of packs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Including like the like deck that you get that comes with the thing on top that says like do not shuffle this, and it will like teach you how to play, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All the way back. We have one of those somewhere on the shelf, I think, here from like 8th edition or 9th edition.
Yeah, that or it's like in the Magic cupboard.
Yeah, core game. There it is. Yeah.
It's got Visidrix or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one.
Roid Rabbit.
And an octopus, I think. So anyway, my experience with Avatar is that I have not watched it. I don't know anything about this show. Well, that's not true. I know the things that one picks up from cultural osmosis of landmark animated series. So there's a lot that I'm like aware of. And I did, not by choice, but I did see the very bad movie. I'm aware that it's bad and not representative of the series. This was I was obliged to watch it from a previous thing that I was doing, and I was like, wow, this is not good.
Nope, sure wasn't.
and everyone was like, please do not judge the cartoon on that, and I don't. And I understand the cartoon is good.
You just decided, agnostic of that, never to watch the show.
I haven't had the time. It's never.
There's a lot of TV out there.
I like just missed it when it was like at its sort of cultural peak. Just happened to dodged it, not on purpose, but I just did. So anyway, Ben, however, is here because you are very familiar.
I'm an Avatar boy. Yeah. So Avatar was like I was the correct demographic. I was the age group for this when it was coming out, and it was a pretty big part. Like I feel like kind of how I think. I mean that's the beauty of these Universes Beyond sets is that it's like there's going to be the thing for somebody that makes them go. Right?
Yeah.
And so for I think a lot of people that was Final Fantasy, obviously that just came out, right?
I mean, up until now, basically every Universes Beyond set has been like they have a copy of my brain and went, well, what things are Graham into, right?
I guess so, right. You had Fallout and
Fallout and 40K. Even though I don't play Warhammer, I like 40K. So it's like it's Fallout and 40K and Doctor Who and Final Fantasy, and I'm like, yeah. Obviously, everyone likes these, says someone who happens to like these things. And now we're into Marvel, and I'm like, I mean, I watch the MCU. I wouldn't say I'm like super into Marvel either. And then people were very excited. They're like, and Avatar. And I was like, oh.
We're straying further and further from Graham's leg.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad that other people are so hype about this.
For what it's worth, just to point out, Avatar started to air in 2005.
Okay.
So you and I guess Cameron, although we didn't know Cameron at the time, well out of high school by this point.
I was in university.
Yeah.
I was in junior high, baby.
Yeah.
But
you have watched it.
yeah. At the time, I was dating someone who was like, "You need to watch this." And man, those first few episodes are a rough watch. Have you ever been sat down with something, and like they're saying, "Okay, this is not necessarily going to start out great, but stick with it," and you just like watch those first few episodes and look at them.
I feel like that's a lot of anime in people's eyes, in general. But
but I stuck it out, and it's good. I even liked Legend of Korra, which I guess a lot of people didn't like.
I'm a fan of it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great examination of the failures of various political ideologies through the 20th century, but for 12-year-olds, it's not a bad way of presenting those.
Sweet. Okay.
I mean, I think it's infinitely better for getting kids into, knowing about like socio-political environments than like, I don't know, a trade federation in space,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, today we're going to be looking at a bunch of the stuff that they've spoiled so far, and I mean, I can certainly talk about it from some perspective of being a Magic card, but I'm going to be relying on you to explain why this is interesting or fun.
Sure.
So I don't have anything. I haven't really looked at them because I don't know about them. So I don't know, James. Do you want to just throw some up there, or if you guys have any particular ones you want to highlight?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is Avatar: The Last Airbender Eternal?
So I believe that is the kind of thing that they're talking about with the jump starty looking cards and stuff. So it's got the it'll have like the airbending kite set symbol.
Yeah.
And then like the main series ones are the ones with the Aang's head.
Right. But so these are these are all from Jumpstart then, or
I mean the Eternal ones. I believe the reason they're doing that is being like these aren't cards that you get to play in your standard deck, kind of a thing.
Okay.
Like they're saying it's for Eternal formats.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like
Interesting.
Commander is an Eternal format.
Yeah.
Right, because I saw that there was a lesson card, but there's no learn.
We have not seen any learn cards, I don't think, in the reveals.
I saw someone say that they said that there isn't any learn. There's just some lessons, and maybe those are in the Eternal stuff.
Weird. Okay.
That might have been a supposition. I may have been misinterpreting that.
Yeah, because I was very excited to see Lesson come.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly a great
I like that mechanic.
flavor and mechanical match for Avatar.
Yeah.
The fact that there is no learn in the set is extremely funny.
It's true.
Considering
If
like,
that's
it's
correct.
about
If that's
a
the
bunch of
case.
queens.
Yeah,
like
I may have misinterpreted what
skipping
someone was
school.
saying. But.
I mean, as far as we can see, like they've spoiled maybe a quarter of the set, if that, right? So,
Because there's a new, and they're making a new series too, or there's something new coming out.
So forever ago, I'll level with you. Like in terms of like keeping up with the news of like every nerd thing that's been going on. Like I haven't fully watched Gamescom at this point, right? But like a long time ago, they announced that they were going to do a new Avatar series, and in this time, it's going to be like Earthbending Twins, I believe, is what was like an announced kind of a thing. That was the next kind of deal. So I figured that was tying in with this set, like it was going to kind of be one and the same. So who knows?
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. In 2025, 20 years after the show originally debuted, it was announced that a new sequel titled Avatar 7 Havens was greenlit.
Okay.
The series will consist of 26 episodes spread across 2 seasons and will be produced by the original Avatar creators, Michael DiMartino and Brian something.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
It looks like, yes, there will be more Avatar in the next couple of years.
Hey, I mean, the team that was doing Dragon Prince for the longest time.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that was their current project.
All right. Well,
Magic cards?
hit us with some cards. What do we got? Steadfast Guardian. 2 white for a 3/4 Bison ally. Great. Legendary with flash and flying, and when Appa enters airbend any number of other target non-land permanents you control, which is to say, exile them. While each one is exiled, its owner may cast it for 2 rather than its mana cost. And then whenever you cast a spell from exile, you make a 1/1 white ally creature token.
So this is airbending.
Yeah. I honestly really like this pseudo flicker effect.
So there's the 4, obviously, and of the 4, this is my favorite.
So that's
in terms of flavor.
Anytime a card says airbend, that's what it does. Is it exiles? It just exiles a thing, and it exiles it forever.
Mm-hmm.
But its owner can cast it for 2 colorless rather than its mana cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do it to your own stuff to like save it. You can do it to your opponent's stuff. And yeah, the idea, I guess, here being like a lot of the times they're, knocking them off their feet with airbending or like throwing them up in the air kind of a thing, the gust of it. Sometimes they literally put them in an air bubble.
I've seen Appa. Appa's wearing a funny hat.
So this is the outfit that they put him in when they're like making the siege. Basically, they put
they armor up.
They armor him up.
Okay.
This is like kind of in the finale of what's going on. And Appa is a sky bison. They are the like main sort of pets of the air nomad tribe.
Okay.
So that's the airbending sort of nation. And typically, like you get like the students and the monks. They take care of them. That's like the main sort of animals that they treat, and they can fly.
Nice.
They know how to airbend, and that's kind of a thing. Is like basically a lot of the concepts of bending came from people either watching animals and learning that from them or from spirits. Essentially,
airbending comes from the sky bison.
Yeah.
Firebending comes from the dragons.
yeah. And the earthbending is from the badger moles.
Right. Yeah.
And then water bending, oh, gosh,
Some kind of fish.
probably, or the moon or something like that.
Yeah,
like
it
the
was-
moon
it was a
spirit.
tidal thing.
Yeah, it's like you
okay.
by watching the moon.
That
kind of a
tracks,
thing.
all right.
But yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, Opposite Sky Bison, he's their airship.
Nice.
For the show.
Because I saw only like 1 or 2 cards or something, and there was a worry that like whatever bending was going to mean different things on different cards. So I'm glad that doesn't seem to be the case. That this is just what airbending is. So
It does
that's cool.
throw me off that it's not capitalized.
They don't do that. Yeah, when that mentions Magic doesn't capitalize their keywords. They're usually are capitalized because they're usually the beginning of a sentence. But yeah, when they use it in a sentence, they don't tend to do that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, it's probably something I've only just noticed now, I guess. But like, it does seem weird. But
Appa seems sweet.
this card's sweet. Yeah,
Giving him flash is great. I really look forward to the interaction of airbending with firebending, especially with cards that can be cast at instant speed.
yeah. I mean, if we got a firebending card, that'd be probably a good one to talk about too.
I assume that watermark is an airbending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Watermark.
air nomad
Yeah.
symbol.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Worth noting too that this also indicates that allies are going to be a big mechanic in this too, which is
I
cool
do
for
love
all you
allies.
Zendikar kids out there.
And that makes a lot of sense. I love that Appa's a bison ally.
I just want everybody to remember where this all started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Restoration Angel.
Yeah.
It's a 3/4 for, right, because Appa also has flying.
Yeah.
So Appa's a little harder to cast because it's white.
Yeah.
Instead of
Strictly
3
better
and a white.
Resto Angel.
It's potentially,
Yeah.
right? Like, Resto just does the blink for free, but Appa, you have to pay. But then when you do that, you get a 1/1. So that seems pretty sweet.
Yeah.
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 What other ways can you cast a spell from exile? Does Rebound get cast from exile? Yep.
Yeah, rebound,
okay.
plot, warp.
Most of the time, like the
Yeah.
ones where you're like, are you casting it from like the bin or whatever?
Yeah,
It's like
from
exile
way
this spell and cast it, kind of a thing.
Right.
So. Yeah, I mean, lots of opportunities. I think as somebody who literally, it's Friday Night Paper Fight today, and I'm building a blink deck. I think.
Oh yeah,
I
Appa goes right in there.
I mean, there's going to probably be a couple of airbending cards that go in there.
Nice.
Yeah, might actually replace the Restoration Angel in there. Who knows?
Appa's full of men.
Yeah.
All right. It's Avatar Aang. this guy seems important. No, red, green, white, blue for a 4/4 human avatar ally. Now, I think we looked at this card.
This is an early one.
I think we looked at this card when it was first. This was shown off at MagicCon. It was the only card they showed off with different art than this. But yeah, he's got flying and firebending 2. And then whenever you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, or airbend, draw a card. Then, if you've done all 4 this turn, transform Avatar Aang. And he turns from a 4/4 into a 6/6 Avatar ally with flying, and spells cost a full Wooburg less to cast. And at the beginning of each upkeep... Wait, this can reduce generic costs?
Whoa.
What?
I missed that. Okay. Well, Joda, sit down. And that's wild. Okay.
Huh.
The fact that it also discounts black mana when that isn't part of his color identity is conceptually
Really quickly,
interesting.
the reason you probably missed it, it's not on this version.
Oh.
Yeah, which
that was the
because
one that
it's
was
because it's in
spoiled,
reminder text, but that implies that anytime it says that's the case.
Has that always been the case?
Is that?
I mean,
yeah. Is that just?
you can use the colored. It doesn't add that to your mana pool, but like I guess it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's been the case before.
Either way, then he does everything but the kitchen sink and you flip him back over.
At the beginning of each upkeep, you can transform Aang, so you can flip him back to the 4/4, and if you do that, you gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, put 4 counters on him, and he deals 4 damage to each opponent. So in the show called Avatar, the Avatar seems like kind of a relevant guy.
Yeah. So the Avatar, he's your chosen one.
Because he starts as a
Airbender.
Right, and he's the last Airbender. That's the name of the show.
There you go. He's picking it up.
I figured it out. But the point of him being the Avatar is that he can actually do all the bendings.
Yes,
right?
yeah. So typically, if you can bend, you're one bender. You're one bending style. But the Avatar can do it all.
Neat.
So what firebending does is when you attack, you generate red mana.
Okay.
Equal to the number.
So firebending 2 means whenever Avatar Aang attacks, you just add 2 red mana. Presumably, it doesn't empty.
It does not. It does not empty.
It does not empty.
Okay.
At least through combat.
Through
steps.
phases, but probably end of turn it would go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Of the bending, that is my least favorite of them.
Reasonable.
Not necessarily mechanically, but like flavorfully, it's I don't know. It's kind of the most boring and loose interpretation of it.
I kind of liked it just because, like, in the show they talk a lot about like what firebending is because it's presented as like the villainous one because the Fire Nation attacked and it's like a violent imperialist state. But I think in the 4th season they go and they find the last dragon. Spoilers for this 20-year-old show now. And they learn that firebending is more of like a conceptually linked to like passion, intensity, conflict, definitely, but like in a form of contest or competition.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that the idea too is like that when Aang first kind of comes out of his water orb where he gets like he's basically thrown in carbonite. And he comes out later. But during his time, everything was very chill with the Fire Nation, and he used to go hang out there all the time and do all that kind of stuff. So it's like, the nation of like firebending it's like a passion kind of a thing, as like as kind of like red typically is in Magic. I guess I would have liked to see something a bit more. I guess that just. Everything kind of like does a thing, right? So earthbending, as we'll talk about, is like you're actually like animating your lands and stuff, and then like waterbending is you're able to like tap other things to make like a thing sort of happen, and then the firebending just sort of like generating mana. While
it doesn't do anything itself.
Yeah,
you have to use it to cast
to do
other
something
spells.
else,
Yeah.
right? Like fire doesn't stand on its own.
I imagine like what I would have called beforehand is, like, what do you think firebending will be? I would have assumed some kind of direct damage burn thing.
Yeah.
And I am sure that they worked that out and were like, this is too good.
Yeah.
So, but it does feel like an overcorrection
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what I would have done, but I can kind of see this as being like, the firebenders, sure, they yeet themselves into combat kind of recklessly, and they generate, power from that.
Yeah.
I
don't think
wish
it's bad.
I wish it stood on its own.
Yeah, like I don't think it's
I
a
agree
it's a
with that.
bad mechanic, but yeah, it's like you'll see as we go along, like each can kind of do its own sort of thing, and firebending just sort of like.
But
I do think it's interesting that they've worked out, because he's these 4 colors, because they've worked out that, okay, firebending, well, that's red, and earthbending, that's green, and airbending, that's white, and waterbending, that's blue. Magic has 5 colors. I'm curious what they're going to do with black.
So I think what they'll probably end up doing is maybe diving into some of the more spiritual aspects of like the world. So it's like one of the reasons that I look at Avatar Aang's flip side and see the black in there is because of like energy bending and like links to like the spirits of like death and whatnot. Energy bending is like a thing that he ends up like learning later on, which is like how you can actually like control people's like chi and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So there is a 5th kind of bending.
A little bit, yeah.
yeah, there's like evolved forms as well.
Yeah, so you'll see actually if we could bring up Toph's card. So Toph is like considered one of the greatest earthbenders of all time because she creates the progenitus of metal bending.
Oh.
As is depicted in her card, the first metal
Toph,
bender.
the first metal bender. All right. 1 red, green, white for a 3/3 human warrior ally. Non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2.
This is just looking at this. This goes into a standard deck with Tifa.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Like, you can-
yeah, I mean this card. So what's interesting is like, they specify that you can actually tap them for like the artifacts for like mana, which is kind of interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
they get to come in as lands totally. Like your Thraben inspectors suddenly become landfall creators. And
Oh,
stuff,
interesting.
which is
So
cool.
it's non-token artifacts, non-token,
non-token, sure,
but they are lands, but they don't inherently
Make mana.
tap
Make
for mana. They're just
yeah, they're also lands. So you
land planks.
yeah, so Toph can animate them.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I should read the reminder text for earthbending. Target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste that's still a land, and you put however many counters. In this case, it's earthbending 2, so you put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and then when it dies or is exiled, return it to the battlefield tapped. That's wild.
So they make earthbending is like making Zendikons basically.
Okay.
Yeah, only they've filed off everything that made that feel bad.
Yeah, and so like, so this is my second favorite of the bendings for how it's going to play and stuff like that. I don't love that it's they become animated and then they remain. Right, like I always felt like earthbending is kind of this thing where it's like like they'll do it and they'll like shoot like a rock or they'll like make an earth turn into a ramp and flip somebody like a pancake and that's it.
Yeah,
the earth
yeah.
doesn't like get up and then continue to punch the crap out of
it's
things.
not
right?
actually like an animated or insold or like
Yeah,
it's not like a golem.
exactly right. And
It's-
so
it's-
it feels like it should be like this becomes a creature, do what you want with it, and then it goes back to being a land or whatever. But
Yeah.
that might also just be bad. So maybe they were looking
Yeah,
at a way
exactly.
to make it
It's
like playable.
Yeah, how do we do this? Well, it's like, well, maybe you could fling a land at somebody and then it comes back, untapped, or like you can use it to imprison someone because that's another thing that they do quite often is they just like, make like a cartoon bard cage out of rock.
Yeah, or maybe like I mean I could see them maybe going like this becomes like an XX with vigilance, and then that way it's like it can attack.
Yeah.
If it dies, they could still keep that clause, but then you're also still able to use it for mana or something like that. I don't know. It's interesting, but it is. That was the first thing that I thought of when I looked at this. I was like, but I'm not making a golem.
Yeah.
I'm just.
So is metal bending then like a... Because metal comes from ore, which is earth, so I assume that metal bending is like, oh, we've leveled up earth bending even
because,
more?
like, in the first series, earthbenders cannot manipulate metal at all. Like it has lost whatever energy they use to manipulate it.
Right.
It is now like a synthetic thing that they can't interact with anymore. And Toph is like, no, it's still around.
Yeah. So
She's
blind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's also a prodigious user, right? Like she's a genius earthbender. And I forget exactly how it works out conceptually.
It's
I
just
think
that
she doesn't care that it's synthetic.
yeah, there's a card actually that kind of showcases how she sees things. It's like size. It's a green enchantment, James. I think it's like 4 mana, but essentially like they sort of showcase how Toph sees things. Like they'll go to grayscale and then she'll stomp and then she'll feel like almost like supersonic waves sort of going out. And so she's sort of able to figure this out in a way because she just feels Earth, right? And then she goes, no, I can still feel it in there, and so she's just sort of like molding the metal and whatnot with the earth elements still like within the metal.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a really sick scene where in this one, I think that's what they're starting to depict is she basically bends down a door and then converts that door into armor around her and then just starts beating the crap out of Fire Nation soldiers.
Damn, all right.
It's pretty sick. Like she's definitely one of the top characters. But yeah, this is also, as I think a lot of people were saying, like such a unique Naya commander.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Seismic tutelage. There we go.
Oh, cool.
This is her kind of teaching Aang how she sees.
So this is in the legacy.
This is in the legacy one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, they're eternal, whatever it was called.
All right, yeah,
Yeah.
eternal.
Okay, so it's 3 and a green, seismic tutelage, 3 and a green, enchantment, creature enchantment. When this aura enters, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, double the number of counters on it.
Well, it's like that Hydra aura.
Yeah, neat. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
That's I like the art on that quite a lot.
It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, and I guess like the last airbending that we should probably, or the last bending we should talk about is probably the waterbending, which is on the Katara's card, or one of many Katara cards.
Katara, the Fearless.
Yeah, this is a different one. So this is another complaint that I'll have, but we should go through the bending.
Yes, yeah.
You want to go? Okay, we'll
There, that one, yeah.
We'll come back to the other Katara after this.
Yeah.
Katara, Water Tribe's Hope, 2 white, blue, blue for a 3/3 with Vigilance, Human Warrior ally. When Katara enters, make a 1/1 white ally creature token. Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until end of turn. X can't be 0. Activate only during your turn. And then reminder text, while paying a waterbend cost, you can tap your artifacts and creatures to help. Each one pays for 1. Holy moly. Okay, so that part's the reminder text. Can all waterbending only be activated during your turn?
So it's I don't believe so. No. So essentially what waterbending is that reminder text.
Okay, this is the only one that's waterbend X.
Yeah, so
or the only one that we've seen.
That I think we've seen, but there's like a couple. And so the waterbending thing confused me at first because I thought it was the idea that you're like augmenting the power and toughness of creatures and stuff like that. But what the waterbending mechanic is it's like waterbend and then some sort of cost, and that you can do like a pseudo improvise convoke thing to pay for this ability, and the ability does something.
Oh, so waterbending's different.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, so it's the
waterbending part is that artifacts and creatures can help you pay for it.
Yes,
but what it does depends on the card.
Yes,
Hoy.
That's my understanding.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, do you have James? Do you have any other card with waterbend handy, by chance?
So there was one from Geyser Leaper from the main set. So yeah.
This is waterbend 4. Draw a card and discard a card. So you pay 4 mana to draw a card and discard a card, but because it's waterbend, other creatures can convoke for it.
Yeah. This one's neat.
I should say, right, Geyser Leaper, 4 and a blue for a 4/3 flying, Human Warrior ally. That looks sweet. And then, you draw loot. You waterbend 4 to loot. That seems very cool. I don't like that.
the way that it's that
I don't like that waterbending is always doing something different.
Yeah, that it's the waterbending is that flavor or the reminder text.
Yeah, it's how you pay for the ability that each of these different cards does.
Yeah, that's why it's number 3 for me in terms of like the.
Mm-hmm.
I think playability wise, this might, depending on what these different abilities are, this might be one of the best ones.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
But yeah, from a flavor perspective, it is kind of interesting because it's like supposed to be like the ebb and flow and the tight knit communities of the Water Tribe. But it is mechanically very strange.
Yeah. I think it's going to feel great when you're playing this and you like swing with. I'm going to guess there's a 3/1 first striker with firebending, right? And generate 3 red mana and use that to pay for water bending. And then you can like, or bring back something that you've airbent out, right? Like, I think when all of this is ticking along, it's going to feel really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's interesting to me. I wish any of the cards that we've seen so far were more powerful.
I mean,
Katara seems pretty cool. I like that they put it there that it's like you can't just wipe your own board. Like you can't make X 0.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
The card I thought was most like conceptually interesting is I think Firelord Ozai, who is a like mono black. He is the leader of the Fire Nation. He's the villain of the entire series. He's the power hungry, extremely autocratic monarch of the Fire Nation. And he does not have firebending. He has something that's a lot like firebending, where for 3 and a black, you get this 4/4 human noble. This is from the Eternal set, where whenever Firelord Ozai attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed creature's power. So he doesn't firebend himself. He sacrifices something to make it firebend.
Which is interesting. Yeah.
And then for 6 mana, you exile the top of each opponent's library, and until end of turn, you may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. So you attack, you sack something, you use that mana to activate him, and then you just get to do a bunch of stuff in your second main phase for free.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's kind of like an interesting design space for a card and a neat way of representing this character.
You can play one of those cards. My bad. Yeah, okay. Still, interesting.
Yeah.
I like that the art doesn't like
Show him.
feature him.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the middle.
Yeah, I
in the
assume that's
but,
him there,
Yeah,
but-
you don't really see him very well.
Yeah.
I assume we'll get an alt art version that's like a nicely done thing of him. He's a big dude. I mean, there is. I think the closest art we've seen is there's like art of him when he loses to Aang and getting his stuff. I mean, I don't know when we're allowed to start talking about spoilers of the television show.
Go for
this,
it.
but it's just like so. Like
at this point, I'm probably not going to watch it.
yeah, so it's like the idea here is spoilers. Aang doesn't want to kill him, right? Because
Right.
Aang's he's a pacifist and stuff. And so he learns how to energy bend, and he takes away Ozai's power. He takes away his ability to bend. Essentially, that's the thing that he can do with energy bending. And I think there is a card art of him literally doing it, where it's like the effect is very strong, but it's just showing him like on the ground, looking all sad that he's lost his bending. It's from the special sheet, Force of Negation.
Oh, okay. It's just different art of Force of Negation.
It's new Force of Negation art, and there it is. It's from the show, and that's the closest you see of Ozai so far in the art.
Oh, is this like the Final Fantasy set where this is just a screenshot?
It looks like it, yeah. And so and then he spits out the energy into the world.
Because the
artist
art credit is season 3, Fire, chapter 61.
Oh, okay, neat.
So the thing that I really wanted to touch on, and I know that I saw you comment on it too, is what happened just earlier is the rise of putting multiple legendaries of the same character in a single set.
Yeah.
And it's been happening a lot, and I don't love it.
Yeah.
Neither.
So Edge of Eternities, I think, did it in an interesting way where it's showing like them at the start of their adventure in uncommon form, and then like the mythic or whatever version of them at the end of their story.
Right.
That's interesting. From what I can see of the cards spoiled, Katara has 4 cards already, and we're not even like through spoiler season for it.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it's just like so we had the one that we saw with the water bending. We had the other one that
We had
James brought up, the Fearless.
Katara the Fearless, who's green, white, blue for a 3/3, And if a triggered ability of an ally you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time.
There's
Zendikar in Shambles.
There's Katara Waterbending Master, who's a mono blue one.
And that one's what rarity? This one's rare. The other one I saw...
I think this one's mythic.
Was also
this one's
rare.
mythic from the Eternal set.
There's so many.
Yeah, and then there's Katara Bending Prodigy, which is an uncommon one.
So yeah, Waterbending Master, it's a mythic, 1 and a blue for a 1/3. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you get an experience counter. Oh, God. Whenever Katara attacks, you may draw a card for each experience counter you have. If you do, discard a card. And then Katara Bending Prodigy is 2 and a blue for a 2/3. At the beginning of your end step, if Katara is tapped, put a +1/+1 counter on her. Waterbend 6, draw a card. Okay.
And so
That's a lot of Katara.
It's a lot of Katara.
Yeah.
It's like I like all of these characters so much, and I don't know like what the deal was. Like I assume they were like, we just want this to be about series 1, which is like, okay, I get it. But like we obviously haven't seen like a ton of all the spoilers and stuff, but we do know that they said that there's no commander set for this, I believe, which is a bummer. But like we're already, super saturated with like we have 4 legendaries of the same character.
Yeah.
But then we still see, and there's so many named and interesting characters within the series of the show, and we're still finding room to make the Cabbage Merchant also a legendary creature doing his own thing.
I was talking to Dark Pact Cosplay.
I saw you talking to Evan about this.
On Blue Sky about this. Because I was like, look, because this was not... And I'm sure that they understood, but this was not a hate post, right? Because I love the Cabbage Merchant, one of the few things I'm aware of, right? My cabbages, like, I get it. But, like, the guy is not apparently in the show named.
Nope.
Apparently he has a name that shows up in some sort of ancillary media. But, like, he's just a guy.
People are gonna be upset about me for saying this. He's not an integral character to the show.
No,
like to this.
He's got one line.
He's got the one. Yeah, right. And like he shows up several times. He's a very good comedy relief character. We love him. He's mimetic and whatnot.
Yeah. I just don't know why he's legendary.
He doesn't need to be legendary. You could have. I mean, they put in. We saw in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
they have Miles's buddy. I can't remember the name of the character.
Oh, and he's just the guy in the chair.
He's the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
Right. They could have done the Cabbage Merchant.
Yeah,
or a Cabbage Merchant,
or just
and
cabbage merchant.
I think people would have been just as like, like. But I mean,
there's so many legendaries in UB sets,
so many legendaries, and it's starting to get to the point where it's just like, I mean, it puts these interest. I would love for them to continue doing this and then bust out that we're going back to Kamigawa legendary rules, where now I run copies of Cabbage Merchant to kill your Cabbage Merchant.
Like Cabbage Man. My problem with the Spider-Man set in particular was not even that there was a bunch of different Spider-Men from all the different multiverses, but that even with that there were just so many Peters Parker.
Yeah.
There was like, I think 4 or 5 that were just like normal bum-ass Spider-Man.
Yeah, there was, I believe, just like a number of like 616 Peter, like...
Yeah.
Like at least 2 or 3 versions of the same one, same universe, same
Spider-Man.
everything, and it's like, I don't know, it's starting to cheapen the legendary status a little bit, right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Like it's just I mean, especially too, I imagine people who are commander enjoyers. I mean, it could kind of go 2 ways, right? Because you might be a commander person who's like, I really want to play Katara, but you didn't like what one Katara does, but is excited that there's another Katara that maybe fits the bill of what you want to do. But it does make me kind of go like, oh, I mean, this could have been any number of really, really interesting thing. Like it probably ate a couple of slots of maybe something.
Two of the Kataras seem very similar.
Yeah,
the 2 mono blue ones.
Yeah,
like one of them could have been another Waterbender, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
I should say the Cabbage Merchant seems very powerful.
Yeah.
I'll just read it briefly.
I mean, Serge is going to be so happy.
Yeah, 2 and a green for a 2/2. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you make a food. That's already wild.
Incredible. Yep.
Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, you sacrifice a food. Like cabbages. And then you tap 2 untapped foods you control to add a mana of any color.
Yeah. The downside isn't even that bad.
No.
And that's another thing. I'm like, when his cabbages get busted over, he loses like the cart. He doesn't lose an cabbage, right? So it's like if every time somebody ponders, preordains, brainstorms, you get a food token, and then they hit you and you lose a food. It's like,
This guy, the art though. This guy loves that cabbage.
He loves the cabbages.
Loves cabbages.
He's happy with his lot in life, man.
Did you see? Speaking of Dark Pack, did you see the photos of them?
Yes,
in this cosplay at was it Comic-Con? No,
it was one of the conventions where they were at least
Yeah.
that Magic had a presence at.
yeah, maybe it was. I think it might have been Comic-Con. Anyway, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like this,
Terrific work.
this doesn't scan to me as the cabbage merchant. This scans to me as the cabbage avatar.
The Cabatar.
Yeah, just like,
Cabbage bending.
swirling mass of everything that possibly could be consumed being drawn into this universe and created and destroyed. Like, this dude is not just hanging around bossing, say, with a cart, right? Like,
He travels the world.
yeah.
Yeah. In fact, he tries to go into like Bossing Say, I think, at one point, and they launches his cart off the bridge to get in.
There was a character like that in the Final Fantasy set actually as well. Actually, it was in the Final Fantasy X commander deck, the merchant Owaka, who is similarly, he's just always there.
Yeah.
He's always around, even places where he should not be able to get in the game. You're just like, how are you here? And he's like, I'm just setting up my stall.
Yeah.
And they're like, we had to go through a cave. How did you get here?
It's like in Big Trouble in Little China towards the end, where they look up through the hole in the ceiling and Egg Shen is up there. And they're like, hey, how'd you get up there? And he yells down, wasn't easy.
Yeah.
No further comment needed.
Good.
Required.
Good.
I don't care. That was good joke.
That's a
Good joke.
great response.
Speaking of good joke, we should probably talk about the card that I think collectively most people all were very pleased with, which was Sokka's haiku.
Oh, this is so cute.
Which is just like incredibly even James went, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So Sokka's haiku, 3 blue for an instant with lesson that reads, counter target spell, draw a card, then mill 3 cards, untap target land. So it follows
It's a haiku.
It follows the 5/7/5 cadence of a haiku, which is very, very cool.
And I think what I like as like a big fan of this is this showcases, I guess, just like their willingness to throw in filler episodes into like the cards and stuff like that. Because this was like an interesting one where each of the members of Team Avatar kind of goes and does their own thing. And like Sokka goes to like this little school where they're like teaching like prim and proper kind of things, and he kicks in and he has basically like a slam poetry battle against the teacher in the background. And he like starts speaking in haikus and is like, haikus are not that hard or whatever.
Right.
And so it's just like their willingness to it's obviously made from a place of love, which I think is really fun.
Sweet. So yeah, this one is in the main set. So I guess we'll find out if there's any learn. But I mean, it's cool that there's a lesson there.
Yeah, there must be some.
There must be.
There must be.
I would like to just quickly cycle back to this
To
address
Master of Elements.
to address the this can reduce generic costs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you found the answer.
So the answer is that is not new.
Okay.
It is just that whenever you see this, there's almost always a restriction put in place to stop you from doing this.
Right.
Rule 118.7c. If a cost is reduced by an amount of colored mana that exceeds its mana component of that color, the cost's mana component of that color is reduced to nothing, and the cost generic mana component is reduced by the difference. It just doesn't come up very often because they usually build a restriction into the discount.
It'll usually say something like spells you cast cost Wooburg less. This can only reduce colored costs or something.
Yep.
It usually just says that as part of the rule.
Yeah.
So
like the example that I was given, and this is all thanks to the PPR, the chat mods, because God knows I wouldn't know any of this.
Thank you, chat judges. Appreciate it.
They gave me Rage Monger as the example here.
Okay. Minotaur spells you cast cost black, red, less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you pay. And then reminder text. For example, if you cast a Minotaur spell with mana cost 2 and a red, it costs 2 to cast. Okay.
Actually,
So I've just been forgetting that's been noted basically every other time. Fascinating. Thank you, chat judges.
just my little nitpick. James, can we go back to the front side of Avatar Aang? When the world needed him most, the 6'6" Avatar returned. This is going to ruin every day where I have to look at this guy.
The formatting, having the power toughness box and the holofoil bubble encroach into the rules box does affect flavor text space on creature cards, and the double faced nature of this one is really awkward.
Why wouldn't they just drop the line?
I
break
assume
it at the there, like move it down.
Because then you run into the holofoil bubble. So they should have done what you said,
right.
but they should have also just reduced the overall font size in this box
I
to
assume
make the whole thing fit.
that there was a 6 to 8 hour meeting about this
one
exact topic where there was like crying, there was like people just like heads in hands, like trying to get in contact with lawyers for various people. And at the end of the day, somebody was just like, fuck it, whatever, I don't care.
There you go. Here's another mythic.
Yeah.
Oh,
This one's sick.
The Rise of Sozin. 4 black for a saga. I do love sagas, and they always work well with UB stuff because it's, they tell a story. 1, destroy all creatures. Oh boy. 2, choose a card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that same name and exile them. Then that player shuffles. 3, exile the saga, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. And it comes back as, I assume, yes, Firelord Sozin, a 5/5 human noble with menace and firebending 3, so adds red. This mana lasts, until end of combat. Interesting.
Yeah, it's end of combat. It doesn't last second main. So you want to use this on like instance, and I assume there's probably going to be like guys with fire breathing effects.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's what'll happen. Yeah.
Or use them to, I don't know. All the waterbending cards we've seen so far have not had time.
So here's an example also. Whenever Firelord Sozin deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
So he resurrects everything that he
just destroyed earlier during his rise.
Interesting.
Because you can still end of combat. There's a little period of time in the combat step after damage has happened, but while it's still combat, so you can use that firebending mana to pay for this.
Maybe I'm coming around on it. For some reason, I thought I had read that it just like comes and you get it for your turn, kind of like other red effects like this have been. But I guess the idea here is, that you're like welling up power and you have the potential
in
to
combat.
do it in combat. That you have the
like
potential to do
you have
with
to
it.
do it in combat.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Interesting.
I'm curious about the flavor of this card too, because
Tell me about Firelord Sozin.
So Firelord Sozin is Ozai's dad.
Okay.
And was the guy who basically started the kind of
the Fire Nation.
The Fire Nation's attack, essentially, right? Or wanted to.
And that was all is chapter 1 of the saga, and then the Fire Nation attacked? Is that what we're seeing there? Or
sort of,
okay.
Yeah. So he's like
one of the
big
few
dreamer.
Avatar things I'm familiar with.
He wants more of the world, kind of a thing. Okay. But he kind of sort of gets stopped by the Avatar just prior to Aang, Avatar Roku.
Okay.
They're like BFFs, Roku and Sozin. And then Sozin's like, hey, I should our society is so great. Everyone should share in how great our society is, kind of thing. He's like, whoa, brother. That's a little freaky. And so Sozin's whole kind of deal is, he's the one who wants to start doing that. And on the front, it's kind of the saga. If you go back to the front, there is a key kind of feature to Avatar, which is that big comet you see behind him, which is called Sozin's Comet. Because all the benders, there's usually some sort of element or thing that happens that really amplifies the power of someone's bending. Okay. And so Sozin's Comet is kind of like Haley's Comet. It comes every once in a while, sort of a thing. And so Ozai tries to plan his big kind of take over the world around Sozon's comet.
That makes sense.
Kind of a thing.
Seems smart.
Right.
To take advantage of the massive like gain in firebending prowess that you get.
Is he just? I'm just looking at the sort of the art, and in the middle there is like some burning parchment, roughly at the same level as Chapter 2 there, which is you're going through, you're dismantling your opponent's library or hand or whatever. Is there like some sort of like book burning or knowledge destruction? Or
I mean, I guess like that's how he's learning about like the comet and like these kind of various like things. But
yeah, it has been like 15 years.
It's been a little bit, but yeah, that's essentially what's kind of going on here, I imagine.
cool.
But it does highlight on sort of a facet that I was interested in, which is I'm curious to see what they do with like. So this was my thought when I was like thinking about like what they could have done with the commander decks and stuff. So it's like first there's like the very spiritual aspect of Avatar, which is like touched on way more in Korra's in the second kind of series, but like you get to see like how bending came around and like what all these various spirits and stuff like that do. Like they're, you know, the connection that because the Avatar is essentially dubbed as like the liaison between the spirit realm and like the human realm. And so I was like, one of the decks could be like the spirit kind of deck, and then the other one could be, because they've been going down to the 2, could be like the past iterations of the Avatar over time kind of a thing. So it's like, because you get to go through and like learn about like most of them from like the first Avatar, and then you could go all the way up to like Korra or whatever. But if they're staying within this sort of realm, I just hope that we get to at least like touch on some of like the past sort of Avatar states and stuff, because you've got like Roku, who was like the one who like was just before Aang, and he does like a lot of like soul searching with and stuff. But then you also like there's like a couple of times where he interacts with like Kyoshi, who was the Earthbender kind of one prior to him. So I hope that's why I'm just like thinking about this, and I'm like, damn, we've already had like 20 legendary spoiled. Are they going to have room for all these important named characters you saw throughout the series?
Yeah.
But on a lighter, happier note, we're probably going to see a lot more creature type or same name, same creature type cards. Because one of the big things that Avatar does is the animals in the world are all usually at minimum 2 animals combined together,
And they're just called that.
They're called that. So like Elephant Rat was a card that was spoiled, which is an elephant and a rat, creature type elephant rat.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to get like a lot of things like this. And for people who like really wiggy creature type combinations, if you're a Simic fan, you're probably going to enjoy this.
Don't like those. Don't like the noses. That's weird. 1 in black for a 1/3 elephant rat with menace.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned earlier the badger moles.
Yep.
And there's a badger mole, 1 word, creature type badger mole.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. The name of the card is 1 word, but the it's got both subtypes. So, badger mole, occupation, badger mole. 4 and a green for a 4/4. When this enters Earthbend 2, and creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have trample. That's always a cool effect.
This is the most infuriating thing I've seen in my entire life.
Oh. Dragon Moose is creature type dragon elk.
Yeah.
I hate everything.
Wolf fights. Yeah.
Moose and elk are both deer.
There is also
It should be a deer.
there's saber-tooth moose lion.
Also, this is a 3/3. This is a 3/3 haste for 4. That's it. That really?
That's what we got. Okay. I do love where we're at in 2025 Magic, where we say things like that. But
Yeah.
Saber-tooth moose lion, the double hyphen name.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm sorry, that guy looks silly.
Yeah, they're goofy.
That looks really goofy. 7/7 for 6 with reach and forest cycling. They have a cycle of forest cyclers back.
You should read the flavor text.
Fufu Cuddly Poops didn't look much like a saber-toothed mouse lion to Sokka, but his mother certainly did. I'm sorry, what?
So at one point, Sokka, I think he pisses off Toph. And so Toph bends him into the ground so that his head is just the only thing pointing up, and then leaves him there for a bit. And so then there's a little baby saber-toothed moose lion who shows up, who he keeps kind of like goofing around and messing with or whatever, and then the mom shows up.
And he calls it Fufu Cuddly Poops?
Yeah.
Wow. Turtle Duck. Okay.
Yeah,
Those
are cute.
rock.
Yeah.
Turtle Duck, the Turtle Bird. 0/4 for a single green mana. For 3 mana until end of turn, this creature has base power 4 and gains trample. That's great. I love that card, actually.
Yeah, I guess control players dipping into green.
Have you seen Raucous Audience?
No, I've seen barely any of these.
I want to see your reaction when you see Raucous Audience.
What is this? The excited
The 4 dudes
excited game devs?
Yeah.
Not game devs, game journalists.
Yeah.
Meme.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's bizarre. Is that like that in the show too? Or
I don't know. No, I
that's
don't think
really
so.
funny.
But this is where they've got they have basically like a wrestling circuit
Yeah.
in
Earthbenders.
in Earthbenders, and so the Boulder is one of the very
Boulder.
popular wrestling friends,
Of course.
and this is the audience I believe watching the
1 and a green for a 2/1 human citizen. Tap to add green. If you control a creature power 4 or greater, add green instead. I think the Boulder is going to win back the belt at Earth Rumble 6. That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that they just like did the art like that.
That's hilarious. Yeah. If this is old internet, this is long before the Drake meme of the no, not that, yes, this one. Right. We had these the
couch full of game journalists.
yeah, at E3, I believe, looking very, very bored about one thing and then reacting very strongly to another thing. Notably, it's a different group. It's I think 2 or 3 of them are the same people, but like the guy at the back is a different guy. These are different events, or at least different times in the same event. I wish I remembered the context of what it was they were actually reacting to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Post engagement.
Yeah. That's amazing.
There's a very
That's so funny. Sorry, thank you.
No. There's a very goofy episode too in their show where they essentially they're going to find this like library that is in the desert. It's like this tower. And they almost get trapped in it. They escape, but just as they're getting out, they find that some sandbenders have basically tied up. They've like Gilligan's Island Appa and like run away with them. So they have to walk through the desert, and so they start losing. They start becoming dehydrated. And Sokka finds like a cactus, chops it open, and drinks the cactus juice and starts getting like really high. And there's like this whole thing where it's just like, drink cactus juice, it'll quench you. Nothing quenches better. It's the quenchiest. They turned it into a card called It'll Quench Ya, and it's a quench.
Nothing's quenchier. It's the quenchiest. Counter target spell. This is controller phase 2. This is another lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll quench you. Damn. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that you could do that in kids' shows where it's like, oh, they're starting to feel sick. And that functionally means they're also getting really high. But we're not going to say that.
We're not going to say they're high.
No, they're just hallucinating because they're in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids don't know what this means.
Yeah. It is literally quench. It's it's a functional reprint, just now it's a lesson.
Yeah.
Strictly better quench.
That's hilarious.
Strictly better quench.
Damn. It'll quench you. The sensible giggling that must have happened in R&D when they were like,
We could do this.
Yep.
I mean, they very clearly had fun. Yeah.
oh yeah.
I think of the cards spoiled though, I don't know. I mean, it's always like some undiscerning card that you didn't even like. I think like, there was a fair amount of people who looked at Nadu and was like, that's probably messed up. But I think like collectively the universe was like, oh, this is like a Simic card. Okay, sure, whatever. So it's yet to see. The first one that blew my mind was Yue. So they spoiled Yue, who is the moon, Sokka's girlfriend. What gets turned into the moon spirit? And it's a pretty messed up card because we were talking about waterbending. If you wanted a different kind of waterbending effect,
So Yue, the moon spirit, 3 and a blue for a 3/3 legendary spirit ally with flying and vigilance. Okay, I'm not even reading waterbending yet. 3/3 flying vigilance for 4. Sounds great. Waterbend 5 and tap. You may cast a non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost.
Sure, why the hell not? Okay, great.
Dang.
Make a bunch of tokens, and then go ahead and convoke out your omniscience.
I was going to say, how quickly can you omniscience? Hey, that's wild.
Yeah, it seems like it'll be pretty good.
Cameron, speaking of...
Yeah, it's no timing restrictions on this either.
No, but speaking of flavor text templating, you'll save the world again. But you can't. Give up.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Oh, no. They printed that wrong. But you can't, period. Give up. Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Damn, that card's really good.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, of that, I mean, like, there's been a lot of like really, really interesting ones. They had like Sokka and Katara's dad, who is Hakoda, Selfless Commander, who's like a new white. You can play mono white. You can play things from the top of your library card.
I like that.
Also, he's just a 4-mana 3/5 with vigilance.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah. 3 in a white, 3/5 vigilance. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast allies from the top of your library, and you can sacrifice a coda to give creatures you control +0/+5 and indestructible until end of turn.
Gee, what happens to this guy in the show?
I assume this guy's only seen in flashback.
No.
He leads an attack on the Fire Nation during an eclipse.
Does he survive?
I think he is.
He does. He gets hurt, but
Yeah.
I don't think Hakoda dies in the show.
Yeah, he is captured, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's been a long time, but I'm pretty sure Hakoda doesn't die. But yeah, that's Katara and Sokka's dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who actually, I guess we haven't shown a Sokka card.
Yeah. Sokka is he's not a bender.
No.
Right.
But he's like he's a dumbass, but
He's
he's
the
supposed
leader.
to be. He's like the smart character, but he's also a complete dumbass.
Right. We've seen this haiku and we've seen It'll Quench You, but we haven't seen actually Sokka.
Sokka.
Yeah,
probably
because
boom.
Sokka does like all kinds of extremely stupid stuff, and then you just see him spit out haikus, kind of like very casually for a while.
Yeah.
Bold Boomeranger. White red for a 1/1 human warrior ally. When Sokka enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Whenever you cast an instant or lesson, put a +1/+1 counter on Sokka. I'm just a guy with a boomerang.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's kind of like the
I like that he gets better as he learns.
Yeah, yeah. He is the strategist who kind of helps out, but he's as you were saying, he's like the comedy relief. But later on in the show, he's like, I want to stop. Everyone knows how to bend and stuff. I should probably learn how to fight better and good.
Yeah, he gets a star metal sword.
Yeah, so he goes to learn
5 minutes. I think.
He goes to become. He learns how to become a sword master, and I think actually, Master Pian Dao got a card, but he learns to be a sword guy, and then he's like, now a true master has to forge his own sword. And they had found a meteorite earlier, so he went and got a chunk of meteorite and forged it into a sword.
Damn, all right.
But this is who he learns how to be a sword man from.
So 4 and a white for a 4/4 with first strike. Whenever Master Pian Dao attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an ally, equipment, or lesson card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So we've seen 2 different cards now that care about lessons. So maybe there isn't learn. Maybe they just have lessons and
As
cards
like a
that care about
subtype.
lessons.
Yeah. I mean, that's a space you can play around in. Can we go back to that card, James, just so I can point out why I hate looking at it? What is up with the justification on this?
What do you mean?
Oh, it's
There's
all...
like there's
There's
Oh.
just the way that the line returns work out. There's so much extra space on the right.
yeah. I feel like this card is going to fall off the screen to the left.
Yeah, but it's like if you look at every word that's next, it's like, I get it.
Yeah,
but
every word is just one letter too long to go on the previous line.
the amount of restraint they must have had to be like, whenever Master Piandao attacks, can we just put you look at the top cards of your life? Just
Yeah, it's
please.
like, fill something in there. Can we change the font size? on this?
I love
it's
that.
making me dizzy.
I love that there's several cards that are like bothering Cameron from a graphical layout perspective.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But I think overall, like looking at this set, to me, you can. There's arguments like specifically, very obviously, like Spider-Man. I think is the most egregious for like. When I looked at Final Fantasy, I'm like, I don't care that much about Final Fantasy. I like Final Fantasy things, but functionally casting a chocobo is the same as casting a goblin to me. There's fantasy creatures.
Yeah. Okay.
And in this sort of realm, casting any of these various characters from these various nations, same as casting characters in Magic, right? Like they're peoples within a plane doing kinds of things, right? And so I will always like I'm quite excited for that, and I think a lot of people will probably of the Universes Beyond sets, this will be the least egregious in terms of like you're ruining my Magic immersion kind of a thing, right? Like this is still kind of a fantasy universe.
Doesn't seem outside the realm of something that you could have as a Magic set anyway.
Yeah, the Marvel sets, it might be a little bit difficult, but I think overall this one feels a little bit of a smoother ask, I think, of people to suspend their Magic disbelief, right?
I agree. I agree. It doesn't feel as invasive as the Spider-Man set does.
It seems less invasive than us becoming cowboys.
Yeah, actually,
and doing a train heist, I'm just saying.
Actually, no, controversial opinion, but I think you might be right on that.
I'm just saying, right? Like, but
or going to space, really, for that argument, even though EOE is rad. I think there's a consensus that has come down.
At the end of I talked about this a little bit on LRRMTG when I was doing Pauper earlier in the week, but it's just like I don't know if I can at least like I've only been playing Magic since like Theros.
Okay.
So it's like not forever, but like that is a long ass time ago at this point. But like, I don't know if I can think of a set that has most recently been just done as absolutely dirty as EOE has within its like set span, because it's like it's come out in a time where like sets are coming out fast and furious, and it's like I totally understand why they spoiled all this Spider-Man stuff, and they spoiled because it's like it's the summer, right? Like that's when nerd cons are happening, and you want to get people into it and whatnot. But I'm just poor EOE, man. Like this set just got it's so cool.
Yeah. It's really
like,
cool.
I don't know if I've been more inspired to like I'm building a commander deck of the Jeskai ship because it's just super cool from the precons.
Okay.
And it's just like it's a frankly gorgeous set.
Oh yeah.
Too. Like it might have some of the best art I've seen in forever.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm on team like I'm fine with Universes Beyond sets and whatnot, but if each set could get a chance to shine a little bit
of time
that'd
to
be
breathe.
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Either way, excited about Avatar.
sweet. Well, we'll have to have you back to explain more about Avatar because I've learned a lot today.
My last comment on firebending. I like that so far a lot of the red creatures we've seen have not had evasion or first strike or anything like that. Like the firebending soldiers just like yeet themselves into combat and are probably going to die. But they make a lot of mana when they do that. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like you feel better about like trying to stop it, because I feel like the last time we saw a lot of effects like this is like Neheb from Hour of Devastation. And like blocking Neheb sucked because Afflict sucked, and it was a dumb mechanic.
Yeah.
So yeah, this being like, well, I can send this in, I get some mana, you can block, like, feel fine about blocking it or whatever, but I'm probably going to do something with this. Yeah, I think as more as we talked about it, maybe I've come a little bit more around on firebending, but yeah, I mean, I think universally we're going to see something messed up is going to happen with waterbending. I'm calling it now. I can only anticipate one card is going to come here that's just really going to. Turns out if you can just tap a bunch of food tokens and or clothes or scrap or whatever, it'll do something.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to finding out.
Yeah. Put in the comments who you think is going to eat the ban. Cabbage Man.
until
Maybe
next time.
again.
I want to remind everybody the show's brought to you by Card Kingdom. Please do check out cardkingdom.com/LRR. The LRR there is important because it lets them know that we send you, and we do that because we think they're a great place to buy your Magic cards. LRRMTG5 is your 5% discount code if you're buying something on Dragon Shield. And, of course, everything that we do here at Loading Ready Run is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon, or by subscribing, becoming a member, rather, on this YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. I've been Graham, joined by Ben.
Hi.
And Cameron. James has been on tech. Heather gets these online. Talk to you next time. Bye.